that we maintain our discordian connection. Now, most of what I'm going to be talking about here, I'm going to be reading other people's stuff, and I'm going to be explaining jokes. And this is just a really, really horrible thing to do in general. So I should at least give you a little bit of my own insight, such as it is. And since some of you aren't familiar with the backstory, I'm going to tell you the backstory, but I'm going to give you the revelation about the backstory that I was granted last year at Fires of Venus. Fires of Venus, quick plug here, is a new event going on by the Free State Alliance. We're down based around Maryland and New Jersey. We do all our events at a campground in Maryland. And we have started a new event called Fires of Venus, which is taking alchemical fire concepts and putting them together with sacred sexuality. Thus, Fires of Venus. And last year at the fire there, as we were all invoking Venus, I felt that I should invoke and salute and acknowledge the deity, the goddess, who has certainly been the biggest influence on my romantic life, and that is not Venus. It is Eris, goddess of chaos. And as I gave this invocation, suddenly I was granted a vision. I was granted, I consulted my pineal gland, and my third eye was opened, and I was granted important new information. Now, some of you may have heard, back when you studied mythology, the myth of the golden apple. The idea was that there was a wedding up there on Mount Olympus. I forget who it was who was getting married, but I believe it was Achilles' parents who were getting married. Well, they didn't invite Eris because she was the goddess of chaos. The goddess of discord, as the Romans called her, Discordia. They thought she was going to make a lot of trouble. Now, that's, when you think of your bullfish's mythology, that's not quite the way it was. They didn't invite her because, well, yeah, she made trouble, but she made trouble because she didn't knuckle under to Zeus. She was one of these people who didn't care what the other gods and goddesses thought, and so, sometimes she would tell Zeus exactly what she thought of him, and so she didn't get invited to the wedding. That's why. But she didn't care. She doesn't care what other gods and goddesses think. So she was going to get a wedding present. So she got a golden apple. Now you got to go through a lot of trouble to get a golden apple. This is not something you do for a prank. You don't go and get. This is one of the labor of Hercules, right? He had to go and get a golden apple. It is hard work to go get a golden apple. And she wrote on the golden apple, Calisti, which means for the prettiest one. Now, my friends, you're a sharp bunch. You know who at any wedding is the prettiest one. The bride. You don't have to think twice about this. So she leaves the apple there, but a couple of goddesses see this golden apple that says, for the prettiest one, and they get all into a tizzy about it. Hera thinks it's got to be hers. Athena thinks it's got to be hers. Artemis thinks it's got to be hers. I'm sorry, not Artemis. Aphrodite. So Aphrodite, Hera, and Athena get into a big argument about who is the prettiest one. And none of the gods want to act as a judge in this because they know it's going to be bad news. So they find some poor mortal sap to be the judge in this beauty contest, Paris of Troy. And the three goddesses decide it is so damn important to have this shepherd, this nobody, decide that they are the prettiest one, that they all cheat. Hera offers to make him a success in business and a rich man. Athena offers to make him a proud warrior and a wise man. And Aphrodite promises him the hand of the most beautiful woman in the world. Well, Eris was a healthy man with a healthy libido, and so he picked both the world to be his bride, who of course was Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships in the Trojan War, because the problem was Helen was already married. Now let me point out something about this story. Eris usually gets the blame for this. You pick up your bullfish's mythology. Oh, that wicked Eris who played this right. But she is not the one who cheated. Hera cheats. Athena cheats. Aphrodite cheats. So if you're having trouble in these areas of your life, if you're feeling like, I can't understand why I can't get my business affairs in order. I can't understand why I'm having so much trouble on this wisdom path. Or I can't understand why I'm having so much trouble in the romantic department. It's because the goddesses in charge of those areas of our lives cheat. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. So you just got to be sneaky about it. You got to understand that there ain't no fairness involved here. All right.
This is discordant, right?
Yeah.